90% of Russian tourists visiting Indonesia went to Bali. But Bali is only one of the 17,000 islands in Indonesia. So we would like to educate Russian people that Indonesia is not only Bali. We have 10 new destinations of Bali. This is something that we would like to promote to Russian. And it is very encouraging sign that last year the Russian tourists visiting Indonesia increased by 37%. That's the highest in the world, yes. And after we organized twice Indonesian festival, the trend of Russian tourists visiting Indonesia increased every year. We are lucky that starting from 28th of October, Russia Airlines, the subsidiary of Aeroflot, will fly to Bali direct. So this is quite interesting development because most of the Russian tourists visited Indonesia through the third countries, which took about 18 hours or even more. Now with direct flight, Russian tourists can go to Bali only 12 hours. So I hope that with this new development of direct airlines, Russian will keep going to Indonesia because the number to Indonesia is still small compared to Vietnam and Thailand. So the interest of Russian after we have Indonesian festival 3 times, it keep increasing every year. So I'm very positive, optimistic that Russian still keep going to Indonesia. In ASEAN, our competitors are Thailand and Vietnam, and of course China is number 1. But in ASEAN, it's only 2 our competitors. We are still behind these 2 countries. So that's why, because 90% of Russian only know Bali, now our strategy now is to introduce other 10 new Bali, something that is Bali is something unique, but we have other 10 destinations that are also very unique. Because we have 33 provinces in Indonesia, and every province they have their own uniqueness. So I hope that Russian will go out of Bali and see themselves. Because according to the Travel Leisure magazines, out of the 15 most beautiful islands in the world, there are 3 from Indonesia. Number 1, Java. Number 2, Bali. Number 3, Lombok. So I hope at least they can explore outside Bali, Lombok, and Java. I think this is one of the best travel expo, especially in Eastern Europe. This is the biggest. And every year I see there's always new development, there's new enthusiasm. It's good also for Russia, especially after the successful of the World Cup. This is the best World Cup in the world so far. So it helped people also coming to Russia. In the case of Indonesia, for example, last year there were 20,000 Indonesians visiting Russia. This is an increase of more than 300%. So Russia also became very famous. So it's good that we encourage Russians to go to Indonesia. On the other hand, we also encourage Indonesians visiting Russia. Well, there are some invitation to me to attend the tourism events in Russia, and I'm very keen because it's good for Indonesia and Russia to increase people-to-people relation, because there is always misunderstanding, misperception between our 2 countries. For example, for Indonesian people, majority of them, they still think Russia is the continuation of Soviet Union. People don't smile. But when they come here, 180% they change their mind. This is what happened with our festival. About 1,000 Indonesians came to our festival. Most of them are newcomers, and they thought very differently when they saw Russia themselves. And also the Ministry of Tourism of Indonesia also very active. They still have another program this year, until end of this year, to organize something like sales mission and so on. So for us, it's also a good market. Russia is a very good market, our main destination also. As far as I know, they have a special meeting with tour operators. And actually yesterday they have a good meeting, very productive meeting with Aeroflot. Because we will have also Aeroflot to promote our new destination to Bali. And we also not only thinking of the passengers, but also been thinking about the cargo. From our part, we are very keen to export our tropical fruits, because tropical fruits are not available here, so we have the one in Indonesia. So not only about talking about passengers, but also cargo, our potential for export. And on the other way around also, from Russia, there must be something that Russian people would like to export to Indonesia. So this is, it's like win-win solution.